Alright everyone, and hello! Welcome back. This is Shepard with another Monster Hunter Rise. I don't know what you call it. Build? I swear to God, these cat claw dual blades have had more attention on them than almost any other weapon I can remember throughout the series. It's because they're so interesting, right? So you look at them right away, and what jumps out at you is, oh, there's a little bit of pear on them, and there's some green, and that's neat. Maybe I'll run Bludgeoner on them. And then you get Protective Polish, and you're like, oh, Handicraft on these things, and, 100% Affinity, and Protective Polish, I'll be able to stick in white the entire time. Feel a bit better, like, oh, I've got 3 points of crit boost. This is great. I've got a lot of damage going on now, and white sharpness. Well, as with most things in Update 2.0, these things have gotten even stronger. Now, I know a lot of people out there want to build them a lot of different ways, but I feel like when you got yourself a little bit of para, why not also get yourself a lot of bit of para? And the fun thing about these is we're actually able to get para boost 3 on it without losing anything if you've got a good enough talisman. If you don't have a very good talisman, you're probably only going to be able to get attack boost 6, which is fine. Obviously, if you're going for maximum quickest kills anyways, you're probably not running these dual blades, but even still, they have their advantages. If you're fighting something that moves around a lot, you may not always be hitting a weak spot. You might actually end up doing more damage with them than you would compared to either the Tigrex or the Nargacuga dual blades anyways, and that's not even accounting for the various paras you're getting. So you can see here, I don't normally do 4-man hunts, but I thought this would be really funny, and I was right. This is just, it's just silly. So you can't see the status right now, but with 3 points into para and eating for specialist, your original 10 value of para dual blades actually go up to 20. So 10 isn't much. 20 though, 20's starting to look pretty good. On dual blades with 4 people. Even a monster like Apex Mizu, which is not a monster that is really weak to Parrot at all. I mean, on the stat sheet, at least, it shows a 0 resistance to Para. I think we end up... Well, put in the comments down below how many Paras you think you would normally end up seeing without Para or with Para. And then let's just see how effective the para actually ends up going. And that's the funny thing, right? So as we're getting into 2.0, there are certain weapons where you can say, oh, Nargacuga wins or Tigrex wins or whatever. It's the highest effective raw. But, and that's also true, of course, when we're comparing to Element. So even though I'm 100% an Element fanboy, and if there's an Element build out there that can work, it's a build that I want to run, I'm willing to admit when Nargacuga or Tigrex or insert X weapon here wins. But I would say there's something to be said when there's an ailment that does something special. So, of course, Poison on Kushala, dropping the Wind Aura, or in this case, Para, allowing you to build up additional damage on a hit zone that was unfortunate. On a hit zone like the head, which will then lead to a topple, which will then allow to another para, and rinse and repeat. So I think it's interesting. Obviously, if you just want to turn your brain off, you're probably using sticky or slicing builds anyways. But assuming you want to actually fight the monster a little bit while still seeing like a ton of lockdowns, I think this is pretty cool. I have been going back and forth on what A move I like to use. I was using Aerial for a while because it felt like that was pretty good damage, but I think I've switched to just the normal spin A move. And I'm kind of okay with that. I kind of like that. Check on me in another week or two. I'll tell you where I've landed on. I start having a pretty bad showing here at the very end, but with Mizu already being within capture range, I'm not going to really worry about it. And this was our cleanest run. This was a run in one zone with no Pokemon. Could have probably gotten it sub 5, especially if I didn't get blasted so many times, but that's okay. I'll live with that. So we're going to get into the build in just a moment once we get through the carving here. There's going to be a couple different alternative things that you can do. My set is fairly min-maxed. Like I said, we're able to fit Attack 7, Crit Boost 3, Protective Polish 3, Speed Sharpen, and Para Boost 3 on it. You may not have the Decos. You may not have that sort of talisman. That's okay. I would say or suggest, at the very least, you want to have that 1 point of Handicraft. You want to have those 3 points of Protective Polish. You want those 3 points of Crit Boost. Like, that's like the core of the set. So if like you're struggling for Crit Boost Decos, you can lose a point of attack by using the Monkey Legs. If you don't have Protective Polish Decos, that's a bit harder, especially if you want to run Para, because then you have to start making Para Decos, and that feels really bad. So I'd say in general for this sort of build, I would definitely go for the Volvidon Helm, only because that saves your Lazurite for other things. You know, you'll have to make one Para Deco, because like how often otherwise do you really want to run that? If you don't have the Handicraft Deco, Hunter's Chest is fine. You're not really losing or missing anything there. But I think this is about, at least until we get ourselves version 3.0. I think this is about as min-max as it's going to get. Now, I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, pretty sure crit status will work on Element. However, for each point of crit status, you're only getting like essentially like what? 1 point of paralysis. So you go from 20 to 21 to 22 to 23. And that's assuming that it actually stacks and the rounding works out. It may not even stack. This is also, again, assuming that you're eating for the Dongo Specialist as well. Last thing, and we're just going to go through this like real fast. If you need those tickets, hit the cat, bring 2 gathering cats, don't kill them. You have to keep your weapon out in order for your cats to attack. But otherwise, don't kill them. That way, they'll actually be able to grab the paw print. Likewise, if you need the feline fur rubies, just go ahead and gather at the junk pile there. And that's it, and just let them do that. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this build. I think this is it, at least until 3.0. If you want some definitive paralysis dual blade builds, this is the way to go. Check me out, stream basically every day over at twitch.tv/SDShepherd. I would love to see you guys over there. Otherwise, until next time, good luck and have a good hunt.